Welcome to my channel, 12 Gage Investigative. This morning I don't want to talk about true crime really, but I do have some thoughts on some things that I've posted in my shorts lately. Um, but I'll get back to that here in a little while. As I'm sitting here waiting for what I do on the side, I've been thinking a lot, because you know what? Sitting around waiting gives you time to think. And the thoughts that I've been having are mostly about how certain things in this world are really kind of one dimensional most of the time. People really don't have the ability to believe in much anymore. They don't have the ability to believe in trust in much anymore, and that is sad. That is sad because where did that lead you? Where did that really lead you in life? You know what I mean? It's like, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you this morning. Thank you for saying hi. Um, where did that lead you? Where did that lead you? There's the traffic that I'm looking at right now. Just waiting, just chilling. What are y'all doing on this Sunday morning? Sunday night, Sunday evening? What are y'all doing? What are y'all up to? Thank you so much. I'm trying to. The weather's like 20 something degrees, 28 degrees. But you know what? It's supposed to warm up to like 50 something today, so hopefully it gets a lot better. But I didn't get on here to complain. I didn't get on here to be a Debbie Downer. I didn't get on here to do any of that. Honestly, got on here to be a positive source, positive voice, because we need it. We really do, because I see it every day. Not from my day job, but from actually, I'm going to tell you what I do. I dash on the side, sometimes. And this morning, I'm waiting on grocery orders to deliver. Um, there's a lot of people that are very unhappy in this world. I went to the Verizon place yesterday because I have Verizon, and I was going to upgrade my phone because it's been freezing. It's been stalling, keeping me from doing my stuff accordingly. It's annoying. So, um, I went over there and the guy was like, "Do you have your ID on you?" I said, "No, I don't. I got to get it out of my vehicle." Blah blah blah. So I went and got it out of my vehicle, and then he looked at it. He didn't really say a lot to me. He starts punching in all this stuff in the freaking tablet that he had, right? And I'm like, well, okay, are you getting to where you need to be? Like, he's not talking to me, mind you. He's not saying a word to me. He's not looking at me. He's just tapping. And I'm thinking to myself, is he already signing me up? Because I don't want to be signed up at this point. And I said, well, did you find a deal or something? And he's like, no. He's like, you need to give me a minute. And I was like, oh, okay. Need to give you a minute. All right. No problem, Chief. And then he goes and starts telling me, we can get you this phone, but I won't be able to do any of the data transfer until tomorrow. You can walk out with the phone today, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like, why am I going to walk out of the phone with the phone if none of the data is being transferred? You know what I mean? Like, none of the data is being transferred. I turn this off for myself and let you watch the traffic, because it's a lot more interesting for a lot of people. Well, thank you for that comment. Thank you for that comment. Let's see. Did I just get a dash? Snapchat. Your friends. That's another thing I did. I took Snapchat off because it just slows my stuff down. Well, anyway, back to my story. Like I was saying, you know, at that point I was turned off from anything that I wanted to do there with that guy because honestly, I was like, you know what? You have the worst customer service I've ever seen. Because I guess, when we have that preconceived notion that people are going to go above and beyond like we would, you know, um, to me, if I was selling a phone, and this is just me, if I was selling a phone, that 30 minutes to an hour, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to stay extra to make sure that this guy feels like the customer service that I'm giving him, that he will be a customer with me for life. You get what I'm saying? Um, I would have stayed that extra time and done that. But once again, like I'm saying, not everybody's built the same. And I get that. But where did we get so far from being built the same? You get what I'm saying? Let me just go somewhere. I can't stand still just sitting here waiting. I'm gonna go where I've had some luck. Like I was saying, where did we get beyond that thought of going above and beyond? Where did we get that lack of understanding about other people's feelings and thoughts? I mean, customer service, if you haven't been in any restaurant lately, I'm going to tell you, customer service is terrible. It is really terrible. Most of the time, the people that are behind the counters are not very friendly. You ask them a question, they answer you with disdain and like you're ruining their time of being there and having to work. You know what I mean? It's like, I understand you don't like being on a Sunday morning. I get that. I could be home doing nothing myself right now. But the fact that you applied for your job and you're doing what you need to do, you're at work. Leave your problems at home. Am I messing with your scrolling time? Am I messing with your ability to be talking to your friends or your family? If I'm messing with that by being here expecting you to do your job, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I don't know how y'all feel about that. I don't know how you feel about customer service these days in America because it's nothing like it used to be. And I don't want to be one of those people that, well, in my day it used to be this and that and the other. Well, in my day, I used to be told that things were not as great as I visualized it back in my day. See, as I'm sitting here, you're looking at an individual there by that bus stop with the bicycle. And often I pass that guy at least 2 or 3 times a day. You know, um, I passed by that guy at least 2 or 3 times a day. And I wonder, does he really appreciate his life at this point? Because to many people, you could look at him and you could say, man, I'd hate to be that guy. I'd hate to be blah, blah, blah. Because many people, you could judge him and say, well, he looks homeless, blah, blah, blah. But maybe he's not homeless. Maybe sitting there with his bike is actually better than being at home. Maybe he stayed at a place that's not very pleasurable. But instead of looking at it like that, we look at it as he's miserable, he's homeless, he has the worst life. I'm just giving you some different perspectives. You don't have to think like I do. You don't have to believe like I do. But you know, whenever we're talking about life, it's easy to get one dimensional, you know? It's easy to get to that point where we say that life is crap, life is bad, life is this, life is that. You know, earlier I had to break out of that because I was being very negative to myself about a lot of different things. And I had to stop and I had to tell myself, you know what, dude, you need to snap out of it. Because in reality, what you put in is what you're going to get out. If you're going to sit here and be negative, don't expect for a positive result on anything. I'm going to park right here until I get an order. And you know, that is the real deal right there. If you're going to be negative, 12, don't expect for a positive result because you're not going to get it. And being negative is only going to add to your mental capacity to stay freaking negative. It's not going to change. It's not going to be like, okay, when I get this, then all of a sudden I can be happy. Because in reality, you have to ask yourself, as I was asking myself this morning, do these things really make you happy? Do these things that you value really make you happy? Are you any happier that you're making this extra money? Is it adding to your lifespan? Is it adding to your ability to have grace with people? Because if it isn't, then it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of interaction. You know, I'm doing this not because of the money. I'm doing this because of the interaction with people. Because I'm a people person. I went from interacting with multitudes of people on a daily basis. There we go. We're going to Starbucks. Let me accept this. I don't know how to do this without it knocking me out. Okay, we're going to Starbucks. So you are with me right now. We're going to Starbucks. You know, Starbucks really does you good. But like I was saying, you know, if you're watching this, you're going to have moments of reconnection, connecting, all this stuff, because I'm live and I'm taking orders at the same time. So I hope that you hang with me. Because I got a lot to say. And that's one of the reasons that I went live, because sometimes what you say can help somebody else out, especially if they're going through the same type of situation that you are going through. You know, like I was saying, you know, how can you be negative and have a positive outcome? And that's what I don't get whenever when I talk about true crime, we have such negativity and such animosity toward a lot of different things, but yet we want a positive result. It's kind of like saying, well, this person is a Boy Scout, but yet victimizing everyone else. How can it be that you victimize survivors because they survived in a crime? And I'm not going to use a lot of good stuff because I'm going live tonight when I'm talking about campus murders. And I'm not going to use a lot of my stuff this morning because what's the use in going live tonight if I'm going to speak on it now? But ask yourself that question. There's been multitudes of survivors and multitudes of murders that we hear about on a daily. Never have these people been victimized as much as the people that we hear in other crimes, especially the Idaho 4 case. Let me go get this Starbucks and I'll be right back. You're probably going in with me, so I'll have to pause this in order to take a picture. So hang in with me. Texas, where everything is bigger, even the truck. Here we're at Starbucks. We're just chilling. I'm waiting on an order. So this is how it goes. You get an order, you go to the store, you pick it up,